As someone who has observed the behind-the-scenes activities in the entertainment industry, Kevin Hart, one of Hollywood's greatest comedic talents, has never shied away from speaking the truth, especially when it comes to his peers. Recently, he dropped a bombshell in the industry, alleging that Diddy's influence over Justin Bieber may have led the young pop star down a dark path. Serious questions have been raised regarding what may have occurred to the then-rising star over his couple of years in the music industry after rolled Hart's revelations about Bieber's friendship with Diddy. Like many young stars, Justin Bieber was just a teenager when he burst onto the scene and became a worldwide success virtually immediately. He soon found himself surrounded by significant people in the business, none more so than Diddy at the time. Hart claims that while Diddy presented himself as a mentor to Bieber, he wasn't always as kind as it seemed, as he failed to help him navigate the turbulent world of fame.
Petty, making sure his chest got no wires after he slept with him.
Look at this right here, bro. First and foremost, all the companies that you have, you understand, and I know some people have trust and have companies in their kid's name. This man never put anything in his name. Why? It's either his mother, his son, you know what I'm saying, his kid's name and everything like that. He had 18 companies that was giving him some kind of revenue. Why is nothing really in his name? Is there some kind of tax evasion? They looking at that. You understand? You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody gonna come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter, dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, you know, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know, they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher. When Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why? There's reasons behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Cam. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading something, Cam, and the kid say after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do?
4 men in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness, right?
Yep.
What he had just done that is against the law?
Nothing that we've seen.
Tampering with a federal witness. If they have already talked to Justin Bieber prior to him doing that, he goes and look like he's searching him. It appears that he's asking Justin Bieber, yo, you got a wire or something like this? Like, you're tampering with a federal witness. That's a charge right there that can land him in jail. Reckless. That was real reckless.
Man, it's gonna be kind of crazy to see everything unfold, man. Well, if worse comes to worse and Diddy has to do some time, how do you think he's gonna handle it?
Usually individuals acclimate themselves into situations and they do the best that they can do. I just don't think him being a free spirit and off drugs, once he gets into that situation, that he'll handle it that well. I could be wrong.
A lot of people believe he's going to end himself.
Well, I heard him say that before when that City College incident happened. He was talking like that back then. Because he thought it was a possibility that he would be going to jail. He lost his job at Uptown. So he's done a lot of things, been a lot of places. I don't think he has the spirit to be behind bars.
There's new allegations against Sean P. Diddy Combs. A Texas attorney says he now represents, get this, 120 alleged victims, male and female, adults and children, whose allegations span more than 30 years. The accounts of the alleged victims have not been fully vetted, but their claims involve drug-fueled sexual assaults similar to what the feds described in their criminal indictment of the music mogul. Diddy's currently sitting in a federal jail awaiting trial on sex trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy charges. He pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his attorney once again stated that his client emphatically denies any claim that he sexually abused anyone, end quote. Here's the bottom line. He looked for bail once, couldn't get it. Looked for it twice, couldn't get it. Hired new lawyers and is appealing again to try and get himself bail. We don't know whether that's going to be successful or not, but people are labeling it highly unlikely. I've said before, Diddy's in a world of trouble. Believe it or not, on a day like today, he ain't even a story. When you got 120 people that are going to levy allegations against him, his situation looks too daunting to even comprehend anything positive about it. But it's also so bad that you know there's more bodies that's gonna fall. See, right now, what we have to start thinking about, I hate to do this. I swear to you. And that's why I ain't gonna mention no names, ain't gonna show no faces, no pictures. I ain't doing all of this. Let me say this. Everybody that's been around him. I'm not talking about taking a picture with him like I did at a Golden State Warriors game. I'm not talking about showing up to some party and then you find out it was a Diddy party. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who were part of his crew, who were around him a lot, who were complicit somehow, in some way. To me, and I'm just guessing, I'll find out whether it's factual or not with my next guest. But I'm telling you, you don't sit up there and have a press conference like my guest in a couple of minutes did yesterday and announce that you got 120 clients with 120 separate allegations. And all you looking for is the dude that's already behind bars. I mean, we're talking about men, women, and children. We're talking about public figure, private figures. We're talking about celebrities and private business people. We're talking about conglomerates. Hell, for all we know, he's gonna hold hotels accountable where some of these freak-offs happened. This has gotten so bad. So bad. And you know pundits are gonna come out of the woodworks. I ain't talking about myself. I'm not talking about me. But I just saw some report where Wendy Williams came out. Because remember, she threw shade on Diddy in the late 90s. And then had him as a guest on her show a little less than 10 years ago and was taken aback. If you go back and you look at the footage and you see her face and she's talking about a 16-year-old son was in the back in the green room and Diddy was like, oh yeah, you talk about him. Yeah, I just met him. And Wendy was taken aback by that. I mean, this is a mess. It's a mess, y'all. All I'm gonna say is this. I hope no one innocent gets implicated and has to be raked through the coals or run through the ringer just because of an association with him. I'm not rooting for anybody that's guilty of any of this shit. But if you innocent and you didn't do anything, I'm praying and hoping that you're not implicated in any way, forcing my next guest to come after you. I really, really hope that ain't the case.
With more for us, Doug.
Christine and Maurice, Sean Diddy Combs spent the night in jail last night, and right now, as we speak, in a courtroom behind me, he and his legal team are making the case that that be the last night he spends in jail, at least up until he's able to stand trial. Sean Diddy Combs back in federal court Wednesday to appeal a judge's denial of bail. He and his legal team hoping that last night was his last in jail until he stands trial. The 54-year-old has had a major influence in hip-hop music and culture for decades. But prosecutors say that same influence is what helped him get away with crimes against women for years. He was arrested Monday night in Manhattan, accused of leading a criminal enterprise that abused, threatened, and coerced women into sexual acts. Tuesday, he was charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
During his first court appearance on the felony charges Tuesday, the judge denied him bail, prosecutors arguing he's a flight risk. His attorney appealing the ruling, proposing a $50 million bail package. His attorney saying he paid off his mortgage in preparation for this case. In the bail package, Combs' attorneys say he would also limit his travel and wear a GPS monitor.
Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid.
Federal agents say raids of his homes uncovered narcotics, recordings of sex acts, and firearms they say he allegedly used to intimidate victims and witnesses. And during Tuesday's news conference, the U.S. attorney also referred to the disturbing 2016 hotel video of Combs assaulting his former girlfriend, Cassie. And since her civil lawsuit, more legal claims against Combs have followed.
So you have someone who not only has the opportunity, if he's waiting a long time for trial, to continue to abuse, with the allegations in this case, kicking, choking, dragging, drugging, and you have the continued opportunity to try to intimidate witnesses and affect the legal process so that they won't testify against him.
And our Jennifer Bisram is inside, so as soon as this hearing concludes, she will join us and give us her firsthand account of what she sees and hears as this ongoing process continues. In just a little while, we will hear from her. For now, we're live here in Lower Manhattan. Doug Williams, CBS News, New York.
Okay, Doug, thank you. And we have much more on the charges against Sean Diddy Combs on our website, including the full indictment and details on his arrest at the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown. It's all there at cbsnewyork.com.